Right, we're off and running. Okay, just a quick one tonight because it's my daughter's birthday tomorrow. We've got a daughter's birthday party on. We have a house to tidy because we finally got some work done to the house and everything is covered in dust. We've got family and friends coming around tomorrow. The place is an absolute fucking tip. So I've got loads of stuff still to do while the kids are still in bed. So we're going to crack one quick one off, and then I can get on with doing all my chores. So tonight we're going to do the fourth of the four small batch bourbon collection, which were released by Jim Beam. The first of which was Booker's in 1982, and we've done Baker's and Basil Hayden. So the next one is. It's got a rude word in it. It's called Knob Creek. Now, as an Englishman, obviously this is one of the funniest whiskies you could possibly buy. As an American, you're probably thinking, what? For anybody outside of the UK that's watching, knob means penis. And it's extremely funny to find this in a shop. If you're 38 going on 15. Anyway, so Knob Creek is named after a relatively small, uneventful creek in Kentucky, just south of Louisville. But it's actually on Knob Creek is Abraham Lincoln's boyhood home, which is a sort of tourist attraction. So I'll put a map of it up now, just so you can see where it is in relation to Louisville. It's sort of south-east. Now this particular release is aged for 9 years, so it's a little longer than normal because of the climate in Kentucky, because it's quite a warm, humid climate generally. Bourbon whiskey tends to age faster in terms of more whiskey will be lost through the barrel because of the increased humidity and the heat. So that's my dishwasher, I think. Yes, or something's about to explode. Bourbon tends, Kentucky bourbon, because you can get bourbon made in other places in the US, but Kentucky bourbon tends to not age quite as long as, say, Scotch will, because the climate is more humid, and therefore you'll lose more whiskey through the cask because of the heat and humidity. So 9-year-old for a Kentucky straight bourbon is a decent aging. Most Scotch tends to start at 10 and go upwards. Most bourbon tends to be about 5 to 6, and it's not that often that you'll find anything above, say, 15, if maybe even younger than that. Now this particular one is also bottled at 50%, so it's 100 proof, 100 US proof, 50% ABV. And their argument is that it's the extra aging. Now the marketing paraphernalia basically says that the extra aging allows the whiskey to take more of the sugars from the wood. It's not that there's extra sugar in the wood, but it will the extra aging will give it a lot more sweetness because it's kind of going into the wood and coming back out, drawing flavours and soaking into the barrel. So historically it's been known as quite a sweet whiskey, not dessert sweet or liqueur or anything like that, but on the sweeter side. Now it's been a while since I've had this, so I can't actually remember. I remember I really enjoyed it. But it's been a good few years since I've had this, so it'll be nice to come back to it. Really nice deep colour on there, not hugely dark. But what are you beeping at now? That doesn't happen. Might have broken it. Not a hugely rich colour, but nice and dark there. Very, very deep on the nose as well. 50%, but not a huge amount of alcoholic burn. A prickle there, it's kind of like there's a little bit at the back of the nose, but it's not too full on. Now straight away there's a burst of kind of Demerara sugar. In fact, there's a darker sugar than Demerara, and I can't remember the name of it, like a really, really dark brown sugar that's not Demerara, it's kind of the next level up. What the bloody hell is it called? Somebody send me an email because I honestly can't remember. Anyway, that kind of Muscovado. Yes, Muscovado sugar. I think that's the one. That's what I'm getting sort of instantly on the tongue. Then the alcohol kind of kicks in and you get this prickle all around your mouth. Then that goes, you swallow, and you get a really deep burnt caramel feel to it. Yeah, really dark, sugary, burnt caramel, toffee. Very, very nice indeed. I do wonder whether the alcohol is slightly overpowering everything else. It's not too full on, but it's just a little bit more prickly than I would have preferred. If this was at 40, I'd probably love it. The Basil Hayden that went down the other day was so silky smooth. If this was 40%, this would probably be a more richer version of that, but as silky smooth. I'm not going to add any water to it because I've got a feeling that I'll probably over egg the pudding, as it were, and this is a pretty good pudding already. Because it's very much a creme brulee pudding. Yeah, it's a little bit prickly, but it's still really pleasant to drink. It's one that you take a bit more time over. The Basil Hayden you could pretty much just kind of like drink, enjoy, move on with your life. This takes a little bit more time over. It's not as hard work as the Bakers, and even less hard work than the Bookers. Having had the 4 now, if I were to personally rank them, and this is my personal recommendations, purely because it was the easiest one to drink, the Basil Hayden would be top of the pile for me, but this would come a close second. The Bakers isn't too far behind that. That was really nice. There was a really nice depth to that. The Bookers was bottom of the pile for me. It was just too tight. It was too constricted. It wasn't releasing. It was fighting me rather than showing me a good time and giving me some love and affection. So yeah, like Knob Creek, always a funny name. Yeah, very, very pleasant indeed. You're looking at about 35 to 40 quid for this in the UK, and I think it's about $30 to $35 in the US. Obviously you guys, you make it, you get it at a better price than us anyway, but if you can find it, it is well worth getting. Right, I need to do a whiskey tomorrow. I may be in a bit of a state because it's a 6th birthday party with 32 of her school friends. I might have to break the rules and have like 5 or 6 just to get me through the night. Anyway, I shall see you in the next one. Take care.